Good.
All right, we're back. We got interrupted, and I'll be nice
This
about what
time.
just happened.
He just talks so much.
You just talked a lot. Just talk, 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 talk.
He talked a whole lot.
Talked a whole lot.
Well, you're hearing what Rebecca
Don't
just said.
put sand all over yourself.
I'm trying to put that.
Showers, put the sand
Look, this how many people are seeing
Look
you.
away.
She's like happy about it. She's
Look away.
like, don't put sand on yourself.
Look away.
Actually, it looks a little bit silvery.
What the sand?
Yeah, the sand looks a little bit silvery.
Look away.
Oh, we were talking about reasons these families break up.
Yes. Hopefully
Yeah,
without
I was talking
many
about the lack of
interruptions.
endurance and stamina in some people, and it just make you think that they're not good for real relationships either. But I really think a lot of the time, both sides they don't take it seriously enough. I don't think the families take it seriously. I don't think the women coming into the families, the wives, I don't think they take it seriously. I think part of the reason is the lack of ceremony. You know, I think they should have ceremonies.
I spoiled
Okay.
someone out.
Okay.
Can you go get some water?
Yes. Yeah.
Go grab somebody. Tell them I said go get water with you. Look, you got the keys.
Girl, yes,
She's
girl.
getting the keys for you.
Wait, pause. I have to go. Is it good for that?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
the key for the
for that?
room.
Yeah, for the.
I have to go wash.
All right.
Oh yeah, she did just cover herself with sand, right? She should like go wash all that up before she walks out of here looking like a mermaid that was beached. Yeah, I just think that I don't think they take it seriously. I don't think the women feel like wives. I don't think the family feels like they're wives, and I think that people don't treat them in that capacity. And there's a chance they don't treat the husband in that capacity either. And because and here's the thing, you people are gonna feel that way for a while.
Sorry.
Like,
I didn't see a child.
I still don't see like half of them. There's two boys down there.
I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize.
There's two boys way down there. One of them just sat down. That's Aaron looked like he's standing up. And one of the little boys is with him. And they're probably all three down there. You know what I mean? There's a chance. And that's just Ariana. She just refused to come from in the water.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go.
Um, but it just seems like um, I think the first thing to do for people is to go ahead and have some level of ceremony amongst yourselves. Because even if you're not religious, you know, the majority of people are spiritual, and kind of spiritually you need to feel that bond. But otherwise, early on, especially, you're gonna feel these things. People are gonna feel that way anyway, even if they don't like vocalize it, even if they don't verbalize it within themselves. There are gonna be times that you're gonna feel these disconnects and things like that, and that's where the endurance comes in, and the commitment to what you've decided to do with your life comes in. So, I mean, how long does these days? How long in America do polygynous relationships last?
6 to 9 months.
6 to 9 months, and that's terrible. And some of the longest are
15,
5.
20 years.
Well, those are the ones that are like dedicated. But these new folk,
Oh, yeah.
5 years maybe, tops,
Yeah.
is what you'll hear.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of stuff people need to do within themselves to just remain committed to this plan that you put in for your life. Like, nobody asked you to do that. You trying to go by
Don't-
yourself? She going by herself? Said okay.
Don't leave the key in the unit.
But don't leave this key in the
What
unit.
is that?
I can't see
We
me.
don't know what is it.
Don't leave the key. I'm trusting you.
All right, go straight there and come straight back. Okay. Don't make
Matter
any-
of fact, don't lock the door back.
Why?
Because I'm afraid. Just don't let.
Leave the key.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you climb 6 flights of stairs
What happened? She
and
left the
scale the
key.
building.
You had to go up the balcony. with the hook.
Yes.
To get up the side of the thing. But so I think a lot of y'all know that we're based in Texas, and we've been quiet for some months because we've been working really hard. We told some people on Facebook what was the next step. And we didn't tell YouTube, so it was just in a women's group, so the men wouldn't have known about it anyway unless their wives told them. But after we got done working so hard, we are now in Florida, and we will be here in Florida for 2 months or so. We have extended family is doing us a real service of helping with our animals at the house, so the chickens are being taken care of, and the dog and cat, because that's really all we got, dog, cat, and chickens. And the few plants that are still there, they're also taking care of those, because after that, when we get home, we're gonna have to work on the winter garden.
It's almost too late.
It's almost late, but it's so hot.
It's supposed to be
I
in
bet we have
August.
time. Look, I'm gonna deny. I bet we have time. No, we probably don't. She's probably right. But so we'll probably just do it again in spring. Start again on the garden.
Yeah.
And just make sure the chickens are all right out there and taken care of. So, but this is where we are, and this is where we'll be
Yeah.
for a while through the whole tropical season. We're gonna be here.
Yeah, I'm gonna see us hanging on to the balcony flying.
Yeah.
Oh my
It turned into a Category 1 hurricane.
god!
We didn't know that was gonna happen. Cause it's really not supposed to rain today. That's why we outside. It
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to rain today, and then that guy said it's gonna
He
rain.
said it's gonna be thunderstorms.
I'm like, I don't trust you. I don't believe you. He's probably right. He's from here.
Yeah, he's from here. He's all peeled. He's
I
been
know.
here.
I need him to use sunscreen. I cannot stress this enough.
Yeah, no.
If you don't want to burn, you use the sunscreen. That's what I did. Somebody said something on there. What they say? Hi.
They wish we were in Texas, A. Burton, because
Oh.
he's visiting.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And it would have been a pleasure to meet us.
There's a couple of people that have gone to the area of Texas we're in that have tried to see us, and like at that same time, here we are heading out here, and so that was a bummer on all of our parts.
Candy says it always rains in Florida.
Yeah, that's what we're noticing.
Yeah.
It's always raining out.
We're running from the rain. The rain is following us, and
Yeah.
then it's just some craziness.
We're being
that
chased by stuff. The tropical storm stuff was crazy yesterday.
happens. Yeah.
It's really supposed to do it all week, but when I looked at my weather app
Mhm.
on the phone, it said that it wasn't supposed to do that here all day today. Like the rest of the days, yes, but today is supposed to be relatively sunny. The dude said we could keep it for 2 hours. We're not trying to get out here that long.
Heck nah.
The sun is trying to eat people.
Can a woman that says no to polygamy change her mind? Yes.
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody reserves the right to change their mind,
Absolutely.
no matter what it is.
No. You have a right to say, you know what, I've changed my mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah, y'all welcome to ask questions if you want to.
Yes.
We'll answer.
But don't change your mind because somebody else has like shoved it down your throat. Make sure that you change your mind for the right
you.
reasons.
Change your mind for you.
You get up in there and you be miserable.
Change your mind for you and for your own personal leanings. Don't do anything. Look, so bad. Don't do anything on behalf of anybody else. I know how it sounds, but it's kind of like if you. I don't like the things where the wives are like, well, I'm doing it because I want to see him happy. And even though that sounds really great in theory and it sounds altruistic and like you just selfless and giving up yourself and things like that, I promise you, you're not going to be happy.
Mm-mm.
You know, you got to do it because this lifestyle makes you happy as well. Now, if making him happy makes you happy and you're going to be happy in this, then definitely do it. But don't sit up there and do it just to make him happy while you walking around not happy. What'd you read about unhappy people?
What did it say?
You read it yesterday. You were saying that's for the car because the kids was
Oh.
in bad moods.
I don't remember, but I think it
Oh.
was on the radio.
Like happy people live longer or something
Yes.
like that. Unhappy people don't live long lives. So she was like, that goes for everybody. We need to all be happy.
I'm typically not happy. I'm just born this way.
She's happy sometimes. She's happy sometimes. How do you get over the sharing my man thinking?
Stop thinking that way.
I mean, yeah, you know,
It's not your man.
and it's societal programming.
That man is on loan to you.
That's social programming.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing you have to understand is that society is programmed for you to have a Greco-Roman um setting, I guess. Like, let's keep it the same.
Mm-hmm.
You've got, that's what you've got. You've been programmed for Roman stuff, for Roman antics. That's romantics, Roman antics. When you break romantics down, and that's what we're all put towards here in the Western world. And it's actually very backwards. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. But in Rome and in Greece and these places, monogamy was the only acceptable relationship. But it was a false form of monogamy. It was you marry a man and he has a lover. You marry a man and you have a lover, and you know that man's lover might be a man. You know what I mean? And all this other sordid shit. Um, and it's like they put that on you and they force that on you. But even in today's westernized society, like, monogamy is like not real. It's a false monogamy even now. Like, everybody, those of us that are monogamy minded, we're all kind of lying to ourselves. That's what, and that's what you have to understand, programming wise, is that you've been given a false program. 2/3 of the world has been living polygynous and other lifestyles, and it's been like that since the beginning of time. But the Western world tells you that there's only one marital construct that you can have, and it's monogamy, and that's not true. It's just not true. So once you start doing that, and once you start understanding and recognizing how, I
I'm doing
guess
that shit on purpose.
I'm gonna say how, yeah, like, like, I want you to understand how ratchet and ghetto that whole set, sharing my man, you know what I mean, belief is. I'm calling it ratchet and ghetto because what do you see? You see it on Mari. You see it on, I don't know if you saw that clip that's in the group right now, that's in EBF.
No, I didn't watch it.
Jesse posted it, and oh, this man's been dating this woman, and he gonna tell her now that he's got a wife and he's got a side piece, and he wants you to be the third side piece, and all this type of shit. Like, he just now telling her this, and she's shocked. Them ladies fighting. That's my man, and you thought you was gonna run me out, and all this kind of stuff. You realize how immature and how ghetto and childish that is, and how ratchet that makes people look, to be fighting over men and trying to claim ownership for a man, and a man is going, humans are going to do what they want to do, period. So, like, let's not do all that. Once you realize that, you need to start breaking that program. Once you realize how jealousies and being jealous of the other woman starts to break you down and cause drama and stuff like that in your life, you gotta, like, change that. You gotta, like, release that programming, sis, and become something else. It's better for you. You will be an older, more mature person emotionally on the inside if you can just, like, let go of that shit. Real talk.
But polygyny ain't for everybody.
It's
So monogamy works for those that it works for. And in my culture, if a man can't be right and just to his wives, then he should only be with one woman.
Absolutely.
And polygyny is for the just, and monogamy is for those that become unjust. And if you come from generations and generations of, monogamy, I think it's kind of mean to say it's ratchet and ghetto.
What, the sharing my man?
No,
It is, but it's not anybody's fault that it's ratchet and ghetto, except society putting it on us and saying it's the only thing. It causes
ratchet
people to
and ghetto-
react that way.
It's kind of like ratchet and ghetto mean like black. You know what I'm saying?
I mean immature.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, how's that? Is immature
That
better?
ain't sure.
So I'm talking about, like, immature people. That's why I mentioned Mari. That's
They
why I
like,
mentioned
he
these
is
people.
not the father. Oh God!
And all this kind of stuff. And that's my man. He been lying to both of y'all this whole time. I ain't sharing him. He like, I love you both. And yeah, I've been lying, but I love both of you. I want to keep you. And yeah, no, I'm not doing that. It's my man. We gonna fight over my man. I ain't sharing my man. I'd rather be single and by myself to the day I die before I share a man. Knowing that you lonely, and knowing that you yourself have needs that you're going to want somebody to fulfill. So these same women is talking about, I'm willing to be alone by myself. They not really by themselves, and they probably sleeping with somebody's man anyway, because there's simply not enough viable men to go around. so so you're trying to sleep with what you think is the viable ones. But one thing I want to say, and then we'll go to that thing, is that the thing about monogamy,
Mm.
and I've said it before, and somebody else famous said it,
Mm.
and I'm not saying she got it from me, but she probably made the same understanding that, you know, she kind of came to the same realization that I had, that monogamy gives every man a chance to have a wife, no matter how mediocre and how beta male and how omega male he is. It gives him a chance to have a wife. Suddenly there's enough women to go around, and we allow these beta men and omega males to replicate themselves into the next generation, and they just shouldn't be allowed that. It just really shouldn't be allowed. We actually need emotionally strong people.
No,
You
they
know.
should let them. Because everybody can't be an alpha.
Everybody can't be an alpha.
There's a
Yes.
purpose for a beta
So-
and an omega.
and so then those people shouldn't, they should like stay over there.
Yes.
Period.
They shouldn't come
No.
to polygyny.
And I don't want them, like, I don't want their children mating with my children. I don't want anything like that.
Mm-mm.
Straight alpha status over here. So what's there? It looks like
Let's
it's
see.
wrong. Are
I
you
am
able
pro
to-
polygyny. I am talking to a great man, but his wife isn't. And I am not sure if I'm wasting my time. You're wasting your time.
There you go. This is true.
Question. My husband has a potential we would like to engage,
Mm-hmm.
but I think she's afraid to. But I think she's afraid to conversate with him because she says he's married. What do y'all think? Then that's not a potential. I mean, I don't under that's not a potential.
As a
pot-
potential
a-
would like to engage.
Yeah, I think a potential is
Somebody who,
someone that you're already dealing with, or someone that potentials in my head are like, that's like the step before the courtship. Like all the ice should be broken already. All of that should be done. You know,
mm-hmm.
I don't know, but if she's afraid to have a conversation with him, I don't know what that means.
I mean, that means she's not ready. I wouldn't consider a potential.
Why
either.
is he considering someone that can't even talk to him?
I don't know. Is that a friend of the sister? Is that a friend of the wife?
I'm not sure.
Y'all got if
Hey,
that's what
Burton, let us know, like clarify
Yeah.
that just a little bit.
if that's what y'all trying to do, y'all gonna have to. She's gonna have to be educated. She's
Yeah.
going to be educated by you, and her mind gonna have to be open to it, and you might have
Yeah.
to buy her some books.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's see. How do you heal from past wrongs your husband has inflicted on you verbally regarding his new wife? If he won't recognize his wrongdoings, I'm finding that I'm changing into a bitter, angry woman. You are changing into a bitter, angry woman, and I don't know what else is expected of you.
Right.
That's supposed to happen. I don't agree with like the fairy tale romance part of it. Nah, that's what's supposed to happen. He needs to heal you. He needs to recognize what he did wrong, however, whatever that is, and he needs to fix that. Your husband's the only one that can fix you when it comes to
all
that.
your healing is going to come from your husband, and your
Straight
husband
up.
accepting accountability and doing what he needs to do in regards to receiving your forgiveness and all of this kind of stuff.
Reconnecting.
You're alive. Oh, that's so cool. Let me refresh.
Yay.
And tell people refresh.
So yes, I'm sure it was like stuck on an awkward face.
Refresh your page.
That's fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna step out. I'm going to try to refresh my own page
All right.
and see if I can get it.
So if she likes him, but she's afraid, I mean, you just talk about it. You just make it familiar. He needs to talk about it. He needs to show her instances of it.
There we go.
I mean, because at the end of the day, if she like him and he like her, it's gonna happen if they want that to happen.
Ultimately.
I mean, to cut all of the smoke in the mirrors and to just get it right down to the bare essential stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If they want it to happen, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
It's not hard, you know.
Nikki, the live chat should show up in a couple of hours after this video uploads. So if you want to come check back in a few hours, check back tonight, and all this conversation and stuff that's happening under here should be able to show up there, and then you can show him whatever you want to show him, my love. And yes, Tandy, those are seagulls.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of seagulls.
Mine.
I'm saying it, they chasing each other. Mine,
Yes.
mine. Andre White said, "Hey family, good to see y'all. What's the name of that other chat site y'all are on?"
Oh, the Mighty Networks.
Mighty Networks.
I'll put it in the description on
Yeah.
here. We haven't been on there in a while either. Probably longer
Yes,
than
than everything,
YouTube.
because we've
Yeah.
just been really, really busy. Is it possible to find that healing solely with the Most High? It is. It is. If you accept the fact that you're married to a man that is not going to hold himself accountable to his options, if you're willing to accept the fact that you might not have any elders that you can run to that will hold him accountable for his actions, and you just understand the nature of the man that you're dealing with, and and accept that and things like that, you might need to emotionally take a step back from the situation. Stay in prayer if y'all have children. Focus on those kids and your scriptures. Focus on, well, this is the same stuff I always tell everybody. Focus on remaining a wife in a wife capacity, which means fulfilling everything that you do in your
Crack him in the
household.
head with a teacup.
No, don't do that. No. But cooking and cleaning, taking care of your children, being submissive to your husband. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, my Lord. No, my Lord. Yes, master. No, master.
Girl, I'm
All
gonna
this
throw
kind of
this
stuff.
phone in the ocean.
Do everything that you need to do. Do everything that you need to do, and once you have accepted it, you should be okay. Like, you can not have the anger if you choose not to, and just be. You can almost feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for this man who cannot hold himself accountable and will not be considered of me as the weaker vessel in that relationship. I mean, if you've been what you're supposed to be as a wife, like, he's supposed to be considerate of you. He's supposed to consider you. So you could do that. You could stay silent. I think the book of Proverbs would suggest you, being like that more than anything else. Oh, I'm getting some pointers here from a text message. Okay. Let's see here. How does an African American woman find polygyny? Sis, all you got is from Nikki Evans. If it's a single woman who's African American and trying to find polygyny, all she got to do is go on Facebook and declare that, and I'm pretty sure about 3,000 men and families are going to be in her inbox shortly. What does she have? She's got a bag. She's got a bag of stuff. This is going to be interesting. And she's saying, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. The problem, there's the beach, there's the water. It just really darkens us when we're in this direction. So I don't know what to do about that except to be out from under this canopy. And it's really, really hot. Really, really hot. I'm going to email y'all later today on this topic. Yes, please do. Feel free. Feel free. Oh, Nikki said it's a lot of liars. Yes, I'm not gonna deny that. You're gonna have to find the diamonds in the rough. You're gonna have to do the needle in the haystack. You're gonna have to decide what you want. I'm gonna tell you right now, you should be very careful about falling for the swag and the swagger. Like what we hear from a lot of single women that go into this, boy, they make mistakes, boy. They fall for the ones that got all the swagger and all this type of stuff, and they run off with him, and they back in 3 months, and they asking the rest of us, why you didn't tell me about him, or these families, why you didn't tell me about them, and stuff like that. So it's very hard to tell you. It just depends. Let's see, married man looking to cheat bisexual women. No, that's not gonna work. Are you in? If you're in any of the groups with me and my code, like, I mean, we don't do matchmaking. So please don't. I mean, we don't do matchmaking. I mean, we can, but we'd hate to be like, you need to sign a waiver. We'd hate to be that person. But you should definitely come in and talk. You should join some of, the groups where people aren't just actively looking, and where the conversation is happening and things like that, and see whose opinions and points of views you vibe with, and kind of make friends first. Try to talk to people and see what they have going on, and try to see these men and these families. I mean, your age, your belief system, and all that kind of stuff is going to send you here. Sit it right here, sweetie pie. It's going to send you a lot of places. It'll hopefully cut out a lot of people and bring you who you're looking for. You just have to stay true to yourself. That's what I was saying. Did she drink her water? You brought water? Oh, good girl. That's awesome. Nikki, I will on the groups on Facebook. She's asking what are the groups? What group should she come to first? Like
Our
ABF?
YouTube channel.
She's on the YouTube channel.
That's all
now.
she needs.
No, I told her she need to join some of these groups, talk to these people because she want to record it. She want to see who's out there, but she said
need to let us do it.
I just said I want to sign a waiver. I don't want to be the person. I'll take the one that's covered completely in sand. Don't worry about it.
I'm taking the one that's. Where's my bottle?
I don't know.
What are you looking for?
This is my bottle of water.
Right.
Oh, did you bring cervezas?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's my child.
Precious child.
Thank you, child. I appreciate that in my life. That's second to one. Thank you, ma'am. But I mean, you can email us. Email us, Nikki. We'll send you the links and things like that. We'll talk to you more. Because I don't want, if you're a good person, I don't want you to fall in the wrong hands. That would
We
be
already
terrible.
know who she should be with.
Listen to this. But you don't even know that. Come tell us all your stuff, okay? Your belief system, your outlook on life. She done already said no to 2 things already, and that's an awesome, great choice to make. So, yes, thank you, boo. Bye. Here come another child. But let's see. Anything else going on here? Bloop, bloop, bloop. Bloop, bloop. It doesn't look like it. Tell everybody to refresh their page. It's 15 people. I don't know. Anything else? Since you back. Hi. Time is here.
My dating services.
We have to work on these dating services. Yeah. Because that takes a lot. Boy, I tell you, so I'm like, nah, email us. We'll point you in some direction. But, you know, I need waivers and stuff. I'm going to start my own classes.
What's your spiritual school of thought? Like,
Yeah, that's what I said. She need to clear all of that.
yeah.
And stuff. She need to make sure her deal breakers are 100% true deal breakers, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. I mean, unless you just unrealistic, I really wouldn't settle for much
Yeah.
at all. Hello, my love.
I can't see.
Yes. Okay. Well, we're live.
Hello.
Let me find your glasses. There you go.
I'm gonna go back to the condo for but I'll be back.
Okay. Did she bring the key back?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she locked the door?
No.
The door
Okay.
hasn't been locked this entire trip.
It's a lot.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Well, we locked it today. Listen. You see this?
Yeah, that's it.
If you come back, come out the house with us.
I will.
All right. Come out the house with it, please, ma'am.
I will.
All right. Thank you very much. You got your phone?
Yes.
Okay. I'll be like, call me. Call me when you get up there.
Yeah.
Call me when you close the door. Let's see here. All right. I don't know. I don't think there's anything else. Is there anything else?
Maybe later.
She made a bunch of videos on her page called When You Work Hard, You Play Hard.
Oh, yeah.
She did that.
Those were great.
She said when you work hard, you play hard about 200 times in the video.
Because I needed to sink in. Let it sink in.
Did you get it? When you work hard,
You play
play
hard.
hard.
Last time y'all saw us, we was all sweaty, with hard hats on and all sorts of stuff.
Yes.
And now we're out here, and this is the view. See there?
And
Right.
everybody who was sitting here is gone.
Yes.
I'm so glad.
It
That
was
means I
it was
can
like
see the
Jurassic
boys.
Park. They're the children. Can you see them?
Yay. They could stay out here forever if we let them.
Yeah.
I am eventually going to go out there and get in the water.
Let me see if I can show you this part. See there? That's where we're staying, right there on the top floor in that corner. Penthouse right there. And so, this is what we do. This is the grand scheme of things. There should be drone footage coming later. That is Sea Oats, by the way. Yes,
The stuff we learned.
the stuff we learned. And so, is that it?
I think that's it.
All right.
I'm gonna run off and get this water.
All right. I might come.
Yeah,
It depends on how my hair color feeling.
I hear you. I hear you.
It's hard work getting this purple and this blue in here.
Love and Light says, hi ladies, listening to your wise husband today and subscribe to your channel today. Awesome. Blessings.
Great.
Good to have you. Hopefully we'll make a video with him or two while we're out here. We're gonna be out here like a while, so if not tonight, then at some point y'all get to see him. So
I want to tell all y'all with a Winn Dixie near you, you should go burn it. That's some expensive
It's
groceries. I don't even know how that happened.
everything here is all the food is expensive. What is that?
Except for Walmart.
Thank you, Walmart.
Thank you, Walmart. I see why Walmart's shutting people down.
We wanted some tuna fish.
Yeah.
Walmart thankfully had it for 90 cents, and it was some good tuna fish too. Thank you, because I mean, Winn Dixie was just gonna be
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Winn Dixie was ridiculous. One bell pepper was like $1.69, and an iceberg lettuce was like $2.99.
We don't even like iceberg.
I don't eat that stuff. I
I'm
haven't
not
had
gonna spend
iceberg.
that much for iceberg. I don't like it.
No,
Ugh,
not at all.
just disgusting. There you go, just like that.
Would you say that you loved one another as sisters?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my dog right there. Like,
That's
yeah.
about it. I mean, I don't think you can do this without that. I don't think you can do this. I know. We don't. I know. It's very hard.
It's hard. It's harder to do this. Like, this right here wouldn't be happening. Sitting
No.
under this cabana thingy. Is this a cabana thing?
I'm gonna call it a couple.
Whatever. Sitting up
cabana
under
tent.
here with dysfunctional polygyny would not happen.
No.
No, matter of fact, it would just be like,
If we didn't have that level of relationship, if your wives are not, and I'm using these words, and I already told people a long time ago, we need to make a video on this sisterhood thing. We need to make it clear why we feel the way we feel in regards to that word and terms like sisterly and things like that, and people seeking polygyny for sisterhood, and all of that is relative. But if we didn't have that, it would probably be one of us doing a video complaining about the other one. That's what typically happens. It'd be two unhappy women who wondering where the husband is at and what they do over there in the other one's house and things like that, and barely wanting to see each other on holy days and times when the family's supposed to get together. So that's not, it's not a desirable position for us. I think that sometimes it is difficult for black women, even relatives, to really love one another. The competition for male validation is very intense.
I don't think it has anything to do with male validation.
I don't know if it has anything to do with women.
I think that's just a species. Like,
I think
that's just
if there's an imbalance, that's what you're gonna have. You know what I mean?
relatives don't get along for all sorts of
For
reasons.
all sorts of reasons. Sisters don't get along for
Yeah.
all sorts of reasons. Blood sisters, they don't.
Parents don't get along with their kids for
Oh
all
my
sorts of
goodness.
reasons. Like, I mean, but it I don't think it has anything to do with male validation. I think it just
No.
has something to do with selfishness and self entitlement, and here go DeAndre with the black and all that ratchetness.
But you
They
were mad
said
at me
African
10
American,
minutes ago.
but they say
But-
African American, so
I
it's
know.
specific, so I can say ratchet.
I mean, and low key, my
Yeah.
stuff can be put to other races and
Yeah.
things like that, but I was kind of talking to us, so that's why I
Yeah.
said that.
I know.
I was kind of talking to us. But
When it comes to the male validation, I think that's just female.
it is.
There is race don't have nothing to do with
The
it.
competition won't happen if people aren't made to feel, and I'm saying made to feel insecure, but let's put that in parentheses. Some of that is internal and unreasonable, and other times it's that man.
Mhm.
Some of these men do not do a good job of balancing
They want you to
their
compete.
women. Some of them want you
They
to
want you to compete.
Girl,
They want you to listen.
that's
They
just
want you to
terrible. You should not want your wives competing. If you want a low drama lifestyle, you want to not let that be what they're doing.
But that in
Figure yourself
instances where the man wants the wives to compete, that's like the fake alpha.
Yes.
He needs that to validate himself, to make him feel better.
Mhm.
I don't want no parts of that.
Told you, I knew
That's
a
that
man.
sucker
He
stuff.
wanted his wives to fight so that they would both lean on him. He liked that. He didn't want them leaning on each other, so he kept them at odds. He kept them separate and kept them at odds. I just think that's terrible. It's an
Yes.
unhappy lifestyle.
I don't want to live like that.
He said black women lack fathers and husbands, which fuels jealousy more so than with other women, in that since race has to have an extraordinary effect. Black women lack fathers and husbands. That's a very generalized statement.
Black people.
Yeah, 'cause
Black
a lot of
fathers.
dudes don't have daddies either. And you know what happens? They don't know how to be men, and so they running around. They're male adult
I'm the daddy.
age, and they running around pretending to be a
the
man, and
Can't change a tire.
can't change a tire or mow a lawn. Don't know
Can't
how to
do
properly
nothing.
wash a car.
See, now you didn't open
They
up that
too-
can of worms.
They too interested in their fashion and their clothes and how they looking and things like that, and they women fighting over them. I mean, there's a lot of problems without having fathers
The
in the
black
home.
family lacks
The-
fathers.
The black people, the black community lacks
Yes.
black families. Like we
That's-
can go ahead and
yeah.
we can expand
It
this
can
and
go
all
big.
explode and implode and become
Yeah.
this big monster thing. But you know,
I typically don't like it when it goes over there like that.
That's
How's
not
your
what fuels
foot feel?
jealousy though, because white women are jealous of each other.
Oh,
as well.
white women jealous of black women. They,
Yes.
they do all
Hi.
sorts of
When
stuff.
we get hungry, I'm much.
Oh.
Swimming makes you hungry, but guess what? We're not leaving until I also get in that water.
Yeah.
I have plans for my life. All right, sweetie. Are you thirsty? Would you like some agua?
I
Get out,
was literally embodied in water.
Celia
But
brought
you don't
water
want
for
water
everyone.
in your body. You can't drink that.
Look at the child. Look at the
Water,
child.
water everywhere, but not enough to drink. You can't drink it.
Wait
Get
till
that.
the camera, Aaron. Wait till the
you're on
camera.
Bye. Bye. Run to the water.
There's another one coming. Oh boy, 70% reported
white
single female
people.
head of household. I think having a husband is more important than any other relationship.
Okay.
Take the phone.
70% reported single female head of household.
Why did they report that? Does that mean that the
here,
that
honey, you got the thing switched on the other
I'm
way
sorry.
and stuff.
Does that mean a male was not in the household, or was it just like it was back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, where the black woman has to say there's no man in that household,
Yeah.
so that she can still receive whatever she needs? So we got to really think about this.
And you know, yes, and you know, for a lot of people, in order for them to get societal benefits, what they call social welfare and things
Mhm.
like that, they gotta lie and say that man not in the home. And that
But he
man,
in there.
he's at home until the inspection comes,
And then he pack his
and then
stuff.
he go and he lives somewhere else until that inspection is over, and then he come right back. So we can't go by that number. She's
Yeah,
absolutely right.
I don't like the stats when it comes to things like that, because they're not true and accurate. You would have to show me.
The idea that black women show more jealousy than white women is like,
What?
you know what I mean? I'm
That's
just
what-
going back
that's
to the
what I'm
jealousy
like.
thing. It's just like, huh? What?
I don't know,
What
but
thing?
we're doing the video.
This is
my love.
mine. This is my top. Are you going to go upstairs?
No.
Wasn't it something we needed from upstairs?
Uh-uh.
You sure? Like, I'm going to have to watch the videos again because I thought we said we needed something from upstairs.
We got the water.
No.
Beer?
I don't know. No, we never asked for beer. But, you know. Thank you. That's awesome that you tried to read minds. Be. Oh, that's another video we gonna do. Is the proactive wives versus reactive
Where's your
wives.
brother?
Adonde está tu
No,
hermano?
that's not him.
That's them, is it? Right there.
That's only two.
Tell them to stand up. You see them all right there?
Elisha's probably on the water.
No, go.
Wait a minute. He shouldn't be. Wait, he's way over there. Please.
Tell him to come down.
Tell him
here.
to come over here with Aaron and Ariel. Look there. He's sitting down. Go past that blue chair and that blue umbrella.
I'm going to have me and Elisha are over there.
All right.
Can y'all come back over this way? Don't let the current take you so far. Okay? Oh, losing children.
We walked away from us.
Huh?
We walked away from us.
Well, I'm telling y'all to come back over here so we can see you guys because this is where we're sitting. Thank you. Oh. Natalia Yafa says proactive versus reactive. Do explain.
You know your husband about to go to work, and you know that he usually stops for breakfast or needs breakfast. The proactive wife is going to wake up early, and she's going to make her husband's breakfast and quite possibly pack his lunch so that he does not need to stop and spend money on outside food.
Yep.
She typically or even lays his clothes out for the next day. You know, she foresees his needs and makes sure that she can take care of them so that she doesn't have to react. Oh, you're hungry? You
Yeah.
hungry?
Oh, let me go make
Let me
something.
go make you something to eat. Nah,
No.
brother, you hungry? All right, cool. I'll see you in a minute.
I'll see you in a minute
And
because
you make
everything
him
is here
something to
already.
eat.
Like
Matter of fact, he coming home.
he's coming home, so we should.
We about to go because we got to go make lunch.
But but yes, that's the kind of stuff we'll be talking about. It's a matter of anticipating the next move for your husband and trying to make sure that he has everything that he needs: vitamins, clothes,
Yeah.
food, you know, anything,
Yeah.
anything that he's
Drones.
needing. Drones, whatever he needs, you need to anticipate it.
Wants, needs, and desires.
Because a reactive wife doesn't do much good. And she
No.
doesn't mean she's a bad person or
she
anything
treats him
like
like
that.
a mule.
Yeah, and she's gonna treat herself like a mule if she doesn't get herself together.
Yeah.
You know?
We can go all day about that.
Right. So that'll be another video. But
Yeah.
yes, shalom. We got to go upstairs and make some
Peace.
food. So peace out. Peace out.
Press
Peace
the
out.
X.
Peace out. There we go. Best.